Hello and welcome on YouTube. Welcome on Instagram. Dr. Dion Napier with Amplify Vocal Studio. And I want to do more of a mindset kind of talk today. I want to give you all a little bit of testimony, a little bit of strategy about overcoming the pressure of your culture to sing loud. So if you've been tracking with me for the past few days, I've been posting a lot about reasons why singers sing too loudly. And one of those reasons was because of cultural expectations. That's either, where you were born, if you come from a family where everyone sings a certain way, church culture. So I want to talk about and share some of my story and give you 3 ways to overcome the pressure of culture. So if you are new to my channel, I'm Dr. Dion Napier, and I help university trained professional level opera singers and voice teachers learn how to mix and belt so that you guys can sing contemporary music without sounding operatic. That's what I do. Wrapped up in that mixed belt training, though, is a lot of mindset conditioning, because transitioning from opera into singing commercial music is also a mindset transformation and shifting that has to happen. So within that, I talk to my singers a lot about discovering their divine purpose, knowing who you are and what you were born for. Okay, letting that be like your ground post as you're navigating around, so you're not changing and flipping and flopping all over the place while you're trying to reconnect with your sound. I see people on here, but I can't see y'all. Welcome to you guys who are live. I don't know what's up with Instagram, but I can't see anybody. Let me put a comment here. Hold on YouTube. I see that I have viewers, but I cannot see you guys and interact. Thank you for the hearts, whoever you are, so I can know y'all are here. I don't know why I can't see y'all. Instagram trips sometimes, but we're going to move on. Okay, so strategies to overcome the pressure of the culture. So a little bit of my testimony. So I grew up in a Methodist church that sang pretty straight-laced hymns, almost like in classical style. That's what I grew up hearing. But then when I transitioned into college from 2003 to 2013, I was going to churches that were Holy Spirit filled, more Pentecostal, charismatic. And so the standard and the expectation in those churches was like hard gospel, spontaneous songs of the spirit where you got to hear God and just sing out and flow. You know what I'm saying? Christian rap, like these types of singing that I was very, very removed from, because I was training as an opera singer in university. And so if you can relate to that, or if you come from a family that sings a certain way and they expect everybody to sing that way, but that's just not you, that's not your style, that's not your voice, there can be a very real pressure to conform and to change your sound and to try to morph into somebody else so that you can be accepted by the culture. Well, I'm here to help you, give you strategy to not conform, to not change your voice. Okay, now there are some things that you can do to learn how to sing these styles without damaging your instrument. Of course, y'all know that's what I teach. Okay, and so now I would tell you, DM me, let me help you get these style tools and this contemporary technique. But in 2003 to 2013, I didn't know nothing about commercial technique. I didn't know how to sing in those styles, okay? But I was in these cultures that expected that. So I'm kind of going back in my life and sharing my testimony, because this may be where some of you guys are, and I want to give you strategies to not conform, okay? So here we go. The first strategy, first thing I did, I joined the worship dance team instead of singing. Okay, I didn't have the tools to sing all the stuff they were singing in my church and to meet the expectation. So what did I do? I looked for another place within the church where I could contribute. Okay, and this doesn't have to be a church. I want you guys to just take the principle. Okay, because many of you that are following me, you're multi-gifted, multi-talented anyway. You're not no one-dimensional nothing. You have lots of skills and lots of abilities. Okay, so one strategy that I would say is find somewhere else. If it is a church context, find somewhere else that you can serve. Maybe it's on the instruments. Maybe you play an instrument and you can serve there. Maybe it's on the tech and media team. If you've got a church that, is into the arts and they have dance and worship ministry, join that. something else that is fulfilling to you and that you're skilled at, and join that so you can still feel a part and so you don't feel like you're on the outskirts while you're trying to learn and recondition your voice to sing the styles and to do all the things sustainably. Okay, that's the first strategy. I really hate I can't see my folks on Instagram. I don't know what's going on. This has never happened, but I just cannot see y'all. It's almost like it's frozen. I almost want to come back because I like to interact and I like to take y'all's questions. If you see the comments on Instagram, just put a yeah, a thumbs up or something so that I can see who's with me, and so that if you have a question, I can see it. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to keep going. So that is the first strategy, okay? The second strategy that I did, I used my difference as a point of connection to deepen relationships and to educate. Okay, so at that time I was exclusively singing opera arias and art songs. So fortunately, many of the people at my church, especially the ones who were on the worship team and in the creative arts area, they were pretty open-minded to non-traditional types of music. Okay, when I say non-traditional, it's uncommon to Black church folks. Okay, Black church folks ain't sitting up listening to opera usually, but there was a core group of people in this church that were really fascinated by what I was studying and by what I was doing. And so what I did, I would invite them to my recitals. I would talk to them about the repertoire, what I was saying when I was singing in the different languages, all those types of things. I would invite them to the operas that I was in. Like, they took an interest, and I used it as an opportunity to deepen our relationship, right? So we were connected around more than just music and singing. And that's what I talk to my singers about a lot. There is so much more to you than just being a singer, especially if you come from a university that typically steers you down a one-track lane. Like, all you do is focus on opera, singing, and all these other interests and abilities and stuff that you have, like, they just become an afterthought. But no, I want to bring it back into the forefront for you and pull that stuff up and call it to the surface, because you are more than a singer. Okay, you're more than that. All right, so yeah, that's the second thing I did. I took what was different about me and used it as a point of connection to deepen relationships and also to educate. Okay, and then the third thing that I did, I remained consistent in my character and identity. So let me take a little time to explain what I mean, because I don't know about y'all, but when I was in academia, there were many times that I would see people when they were around maybe the opera donors or the opera audience, they would act and talk a certain way. They would morph that voice and do stuff. I've done reels about that. Your teacher's telling you to speak up here in this head voice, not doing it, okay? But I've seen people do it for years when they get around this group. Then when they get around the church community, you know what I'm saying? They speaking and talking another way. I didn't do that. I remained consistent in my character, in my nature, in my attitude. When I was around church people, I didn't come in there with no elitist attitude because I was an opera singer. No, like, I was cool. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying it because it's me. But I had lots of great relationships that I still have to this day. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's another strategy. Don't flip and flop and change who you are. Change your posture. Change your voice when you come around different people. Don't do that. And a lot of the reason why people do that, or you may be doing that, is because you're not settled on your identity yet. You want to be accepted. A lot of times when people do that, it's a fear of rejection. So you feel like you got to be a dadgum chameleon. You got to change and conform to fit this group and fit this group and fit this group. Y'all, that stuff is exhausting. Okay, and I just chose not to do it. So when I was at church, they knew, hey, she the girl that sing opera, but she cool as a fan. She can relate. We can talk. We would talk about gospel music sometimes, and yeah, I could talk about it because I grew up listening to it. Now, could I sing it at that time? Absolutely not. But I still listened to it and I loved it, and I engaged and I served in the dance ministry. I did those things so that I felt a part of the culture. I didn't fear being rejected by the church culture, and I didn't come under the pressure to conform to the culture. Okay, so those are the takeaways that I want to give you guys. The thing that is going to keep you grounded when you find yourself in an environment or in a culture where you cannot connect musically yet, okay, because you're still learning those skills and tools. And if you need help with that, you can shoot me a DM. We can talk about it. The reason that happens is because you're not clear on your identity and purpose. And this is what I stress a lot to my singers. And I talk about it even in my Basics of Mix and Belt foundational course. It's available. You can click the link in my bio on Instagram to access that. It's a $69 course. It's self-paced. You go through there, get the goods, get the things that you need, okay? But I talk about that even in that mixed belt bundle. I talk about identity and I talk about purpose, because as artists, a lot of times people do not take that time to slow walk artists through that kind of conversation, and it's huge. It's huge. We need that. Okay, so in order for you to not be changing and hitting the chameleon on us when you get around different groups, you got to know who you are. Okay, so click the link in my bio. You can get that information, or you can shoot me a DM, and that's it. I wish that I could see you all's questions. If you have questions over on YouTube, just drop them in the chat. On Instagram, I can't see them, but you can DM me, or you can come back after I will save this recording. You can come back and drop your takeaways, drop your thoughts. I would love to hear what you guys think about this conversation. I was a little slow to have this conversation because I know a lot of people, y'all just want to sing. It's like, tell me how to sing, how to. And I drop a lot of how-to stuff because I know that's important. But for me, in my studio, I believe that the how-to, as far as transitioning from classical to commercial, getting those skills of mixing and belting, is connected to a bigger vision around God's intent for your life. That is why I'm teaching y'all how to mix and belt, not just so you can go sing and show off. I'm not the coach for that. It's a lot of coaches that'll give you that. I'm not the one. I want to see you fully aligned and in tune with God's original design for you. And I believe that having those crossover skills, of singing mix and belt, singing classical, getting you out of that one track box to expand your artistry and it really expand and explore all of who you are, I believe is connected to your divine purpose. So that's why I talk about that as well. Okay, so that's it. My time is up. You guys have a great day. Drop your comments and I'll come back and look at them. Send your questions. Click the link in my bio or shoot me a DM over on Instagram. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.